Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is true Christ consciousness. What is Christ consciousness? Christ consciousness simply is illumination. That is all Christ consciousness is. But there are levels to this. Just like there's levels and there's tiers to anything in life, this also can be applied to the Christ consciousness. And there are certain things that are encoded in your occult DNA, which will bring experiences into your life. And this in turn will push certain things out onto the physical plane. So, as I said, there are tiers and there are levels to this. Now, one of the things that the celestial creators did with the human being, who does have also extraterrestrial elements in them, because people go back to, okay, well, we had the study of Lucy and civilization began in Africa. So everything comes from there, and they do with that research, but they don't transcend it and go to the occult level, because also they were doing studies using extraterrestrials that came here. And even scientists were perplexed and had to come to the conclusion that many people here have a gene in them that is not recognizable. It is not from this planet. So you have the on surface scientists that do things, and then you have those behind the scenes. That's why entertainment, and it is entertainment, but they will always put elements of the truth in it. Case in point, I want to give two examples, because you have your higher self, which you're trying to reach in the so-called tree of life, where you're trying to go to Kether. Now, when you're moving up, there's been many tree of lives in Kemet, and there have even been one with the Norse pantheon, where you ascend to Asgard, but you have to go from Hel, and then you have to pass Midgard to get to Asgard. So when you're doing this, there will be levels, and there will always be a fundamental flaw to draw something out of you. Always. I remember when I was younger and I was a comic book enthusiast, and one of the arch antagonists of Spider-Man was the Green Goblin. Now, who was the Green Goblin? The Green Goblin was Norman Osborn, an industrialist and a scientist who had this ill-fated accident in his laboratory, and his intellect increased exponentially, but too much of anything becomes very detrimental and harmful. So he was driven insane. But if you go back and study Norman Osborn's childhood, he was dreaming about goblins as a child. So there was something in him that was really showing him, this is what you're really destined to become. I am you and you are me. Case in point, one of my favorite childhood movies, The Curse of the Werewolf. When Leon was born and his aunt had warned the father, he was the product of rape, and he was born when? On so-called Jesus or Yahshua's birthday. And I'm not dealing with the mythology, but when he was getting Christian and he was born, remember, gargoyles are guardians, and the father had to look and he saw a gargoyle. That was really warning him. And then you heard wolves howling when he got Christian, because they know what Leon really was. They were celebrating. There will always be something inside of you that wants to get out. Don't let nobody deceive you and tell you otherwise, because you have your shadow, you have your higher self, and then there's an aspect of an animal in you. This is why when you deal with magic and you deal with certain spirits, they will help you with shape shifting on the other plane, because people, and I'm going to use Marchosius from the Goetia. Marchosius was a high-ranking angel, but Marchosius can manifest as a werewolf. So there will always be something. Also, one of the things that many people look forward to is two things magically. And certain higher ranking deities frown on it. It's rituals that I even know, but I won't reveal, where you can really neutralize a target in a couple of days. And they frown on that because they don't want certain information given out, because they like, that's like giving a child a loaded gun. And then also this, encoded within your DNA is not only your transgressions, but the transgressions of your parents or grandparents. Everything eventually is going to have to come full circle. And also encoded in you, but has been stripped of you, is how you will die. That's also encoded in you as well. So true Christ consciousness is metaphysical ascension, but also coming to terms with your fate. That's true Christ consciousness. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I'm the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.